Hey everyone, today we're going to look at the Maven RS5. This is a great second focal plane scope. I'm going to talk through some specs here in a moment, and then we're going to get in the field, take this out to extended ranges, and tell you what we think. It is a 4 to 24 on the magnification range, and it's a 50 millimeter objective. So pretty good range. 4 to 24 is very nice. I like the 4 power on the low end. I don't like to go above 5 typically. The 24 max is excellent. Now it is a second focal plane scope, so the subtensions in the reticle are not going to be dead on unless you're at 24. So typically, if you get a super high second focal plane scope, you need to keep that in mind. An easy solution could be go to 12, so half power, divide those subtensions by 2. That's another way to work around that with a second focal plane scope. This is a 30 millimeter tube, which I do like, and it's also going to give you 100 MOA of elevation adjustment. That's about 29 mils. This is a mil version. The weight is 25.5 ounces. The parallax does go down to 10 yards. I do like that. It has a capped windage, which I prefer as well. And then the toolless reset on the 0. You just spin the caps off. I wanted to show you a picture of the reticle, the SHR mil version. There's an MOA as well. I love the floating dot on this reticle. I love how simple and clean it is. You've got good holds for wind and elevation, but it's not too messy. So it's a great hunting reticle, very clean, and I love the floating dot. All right, guys, let's hop in the field. We're gonna take this, zero it, and then see how far we can get this scope. All right, we're gonna get our 0. Unfortunately, the first shots didn't record, so this was the third shot of the group. Not that great of a group, but it's all right. I'm gonna move over left a little bit. All right, so I know it's a little confusing. I know there's a lot of shots here, but the 3 larger holes that I pointed out, that was the first 0. And so now we're going to move over just a touch, shoot 3 more. That group felt real good. So here it is with the RS5. Loving the reticle. Really like that dot on the 300 PRC. So this scope is really easy to get behind, eye relief. Liking it so far, so let's go check that one out. This is my first group coming in. Haven't shot in a while, pretty rough. So I moved over left just a little bit, and that's the 3-shot group there. So pretty happy with that. I am gonna come up just a little bit. I didn't move any elevation, but this was just a reminder to, like, typically first time I'm shooting, after it's been a couple months, I rush things and I find myself just really not having a great group. So when I really settled down, controlled my breathing, just really focused, it tightened up just by doing that. So really happy with that. We're gonna come up some, and then we're getting real close. Okay, so as you guys saw, I had to make a couple of adjustments on the scope. So I came up 0.3 MRAD, and then the windage was 0.2. Nice thing is, all you have to do is spin this top off here and here, and then you can re-index without any tools. So I love that about these scopes, is the ability to do that. This one I couldn't tell, so I think it was in that same hole. And then we got the velocity of the 212 ELDX, so 2883 on the first shot, and then 2890, so we'll use that as we go down range. All right, here we are. We're gonna start off at 650 with the Maven RS5 and the Seekins. All right, we got a hit. So the wind's pushing me a little further than I thought. So learn from my mistake. I zeroed with this lot today, got the chrono speed. I'm actually out of this box and I'm switching this to this box, but it's a different lot number. So I'm doing this at 650 yards, so it's gonna be different on the impacts. The velocity is not the same typically lot to lot. I've seen a pretty good spread, and so that's a disadvantage to factory, but the lot numbers are typically good if you use the same lot number, which I try to do, but I'm going between ammos here. This is with the new lot number. It's gonna be either slower or faster, but again, I'm just out here shooting it. Did not bring my chrono for this. Just wanted to see how the scope was at distance. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so at 650, impressions are good. The dot is really nice, really easy to see. I misjudged the wind a little bit in the elevation. I have never taken this past 100, but it does seem to be tracking well, the 650. I wanted to thank you all for joining me on this. Had a lot of fun with this scope. And if you have found this helpful or insightful in any way, would love to have you subscribe. We've got a few more scope reviews coming out, but this was a really fun one, and so far I really do enjoy this scope.